There is a place where time stands still, where the wind carries whispers of warriors, poets, and kings. A land carved by fire and rain, wild, haunting, eternal. Here, mountains rise like memories, and the mist tells stories older than history itself. This is not just a country, it's a feeling. It's courage and silence, storm and sunlight, stone and soul. This is Scotland. From the heart of the Highlands to the edge of the sea, from ancient castles to modern cities glowing under rain-soaked skies, every corner holds a secret, every echo tells a tale. So open your heart and let the wind of the north guide you. You are about to see Scotland like you've never seen it before. Misty mountains, roaring seas, and the haunting sound of bagpipes echoing through the Highlands. Explore Scotland's mythical identity, a land carved by wind and legend. Take viewers from the rugged cliffs of the Isle of Skye to the glens wrapped in morning fog. Build emotional resonance, Scotland not as a place, but as a living memory of Earth's wild soul. They say there's a land where time stands still, where the clouds drift low, kissing the mountains, and every breeze carries the whisper of ancient tales. It's a place where nature still rules, and man simply walks among her legends. This is Scotland, not the one in postcards, not the one in stories, but the one that lives, breathes, and speaks through the stones, the wind, and the wild. From the first light of dawn spilling over the Highlands to the dark waves breaking on northern cliffs, Scotland feels eternal. Its spirit doesn't live in the cities or the crowds. It lives in the silence between raindrops, in the echo of footsteps on mossy trails, in the call of a distant raven over endless moors. Every inch of this land holds a story older than history, a reminder that beauty doesn't need to be loud to be unforgettable. The journey begins here, in the beating heart of the north, where the air smells of heather and salt, and where mountains rise like the bones of the earth itself. As the mist drifts across Glencoe, the landscape feels almost alive. The glens are soaked in memory of ancient clans, lost battles, and songs sung to the wind. You can feel it, that quiet pulse of something greater than yourself, something you can't explain, only feel. Scotland isn't just seen, it's felt. It moves through you like the low hum of bagpipes on a foggy morning. It's in the roughness of stone cottages, the softness of rolling meadows, and the mirror stillness of lochs that stretch into infinity. And when you stand there, surrounded by nothing but silence and sky, it's as if time itself pauses to let you breathe. The land is ancient, older than the castles that crown its hills, older than the kings who ruled it. The rocks of the Highlands tell stories of fire and ice, of glaciers that carve their way through eternity, leaving behind a world both wild and breathtakingly fragile. Look close enough, and you'll see every mountain ridge, every broken stone, every gust of Highland wind is part of Scotland's soul. Here, history and nature are one. The ruins you stumble upon aren't forgotten. They're remembered in the wind. Old cairns and standing stones still mark the paths of people long gone, wanderers, warriors, dreamers who, like you, stood in awe of this untamed beauty. And as you walk through the heather and the fog, you realize Scotland doesn't belong to anyone. It never has. It's a land that keeps its own secrets, a land that lives by its own rhythm. The light here is unlike anywhere else. It changes every moment, from soft gold to cold silver, to sudden storms that roll in from the sea. In a single breath, the sky can shift from peace to fury, and back again. Yet even in its wildest moments, there's grace, a beauty born from chaos, a harmony in the storm. Listen carefully, and you'll hear it, the low hum of nature's heartbeat, the rustle of wind through the pines, the cry of a falcon circling high above, the drip of rain falling from an old stone wall. These are the sounds of Scotland, the sounds that have echoed for thousands of years. And as the sun sets over the Highlands, casting shadows long and deep, you begin to understand. This is not just a landscape, it's a living poem, written by time, sung by wind, and guarded by mountains. Scotland doesn't ask for your attention. It earns your awe in silence. It's not a place you visit once. It's a place that stays forever in your soul. Transition into Scotland's grand fortresses, Edinburgh Castle, Eilean Donan, Stirling, Dunatar, speak about their history, battles, and ghosts that still whisper through their halls. The narration should feel mysterious and reverent, mixing beauty with the weight of centuries. Highlight Scotland's medieval legacy and how these castles guard not just land, but the spirit of a people. They stand like sentinels watching over centuries of silence. Stone giants carved from the bones of the earth, wrapped in mist and memory. These are Scotland's castles, guardians of time, witnesses to glory, and keepers of secrets the wind still dares not speak aloud. Every tower, every archway, every crumbling wall tells a story of kings and warriors, of love and betrayal, of battles fought not just with swords, but with hearts. As the sun sets over the Highlands, the light spills across these ancient walls, and for a moment, it's as if the past stirs awake. The air thickens, the ghosts whisper, the stones remember. High upon its volcanic rock, Edinburgh Castle commands the skyline, a fortress born of fire and war. For centuries it has stood, watching the world change below. Its cannons no longer thunder, but the echoes remain. Within its halls, monarchs were crowned, rebellions plotted, and dreams shattered. The wind that circles its battlements carries not just the chill of Scotland's weather, but the weight of her history. Far to the north, on the edge of the sea, lies Eilean Donan Castle, perhaps the most beloved of them all. It rises from the water like something out of a dream, connected to land by a single stone bridge. Mist curls around its towers, and the still loch mirrors its reflection like a painting. But behind that serenity lies centuries of blood and battle clans, defending honor, land, and pride. Even now, when you stand before it, the silence feels alive, heavy with the memory of those who stood here long before. Then there's Stirling Castle, towering over the River Forth, where Scotland's destiny was shaped. The clash of steel from the wars of independence still seems to echo in its chambers. This was the seat of Kings of Mary, Queen of Scots, whose laughter once filled these halls before tragedy stole it away. To walk its cobbled courtyards is to feel history breathe against your skin, a strange mix of beauty and sorrow that only Scotland can conjure. But not all castles live in grandeur. Some rest in ruin, like Dunatar, perched upon a cliff battered by the sea. Once impenetrable, now only the gulls keep watch. The ocean crashes below like a heartbeat, relentless and eternal. Here, stone meets sea, and time itself seems to erode at the edges. Stand upon its cliffs and you'll feel it, the raw, untamed marriage of nature and history, a reminder that even power turns to dust. Castles in Scotland are more than relics. They are living symbols, reminders that strength fades, but spirit endures. Their walls may crumble, their flags long gone, but their essence remains stitched into the land itself. Each one is a monument not just to human ambition, but to resilience, to the eternal defiance of the Scottish soul. Walk through their halls in the soft light of dawn. The air feels colder here, as if time has slowed just for you. The smell of stone and rain fills your lungs, and your footsteps echo like a memory too loud to fade. Look out from a tower window. See the fog rolling across the lochs, the hills stretching endlessly into the distance, and you'll understand why poets called Scotland the land of ghosts. These castles do not simply stand still. They watch. They remember. They hold stories too ancient to be told aloud of lost queens, fallen heroes, forbidden love. They are scars of the past, but also stars of its beauty shining brightest when the world grows dark. And as the light fades, casting their silhouettes against a silver sky, you realize something profound. Scotland's castles were never just built to defend, they were built to endure. In the quiet, their walls still whisper the same truth they've carried for 1,000 years, that though empires fall and time moves on, the spirit of Scotland never breaks. Take viewers deep into the Highlands, Glencoe, Ben Nevis, Loch Lomond. Paint an emotional landscape. Endless green valleys, lonely cottages, and ancient trails under shifting skies. Talk about the clans, the legends, and the silence that fills the mountains. The tone should be both powerful and poetic, reminding viewers that here, nature still rules. There are places in this world that feel untouched by time, where the earth still breathes in its purest form. The Scottish Highlands are one of them. Wild, vast, and heartbreakingly beautiful. They are the beating heart of Scotland, a place where nature reigns with quiet, majestic power. When you stand here, surrounded by endless green slopes, shadowed peaks, and skies that shift from silver to gold, you understand what freedom truly means. The Highlands aren't just a landscape, they are a living poem, a symphony of stone, wind, and water. Every breeze carries the scent of heather and rain. Every step feels like walking through centuries of memory. The Highlands have a soul, one carved by storms, sculpted by ice, and softened by mist. From the towering majesty of Ben Nevis, the highest mountain in the British Isles, to the deep, mysterious waters of Loch Ness, this land is both fierce and fragile. You can feel its pulse beneath your feet, ancient, steady, eternal. Here, the mountains speak without words. They rise like old gods, watching over glens where deer roam freely and eagles circle the clouds. The silence isn't empty, it's alive. You can almost hear the whispers of the clans who once called this home, warriors who fought for land and honor, whose songs still echo through the valleys. Walk through Glencoe, and you'll feel it, that haunting beauty that defines Scotland's soul. The valley stretches endlessly, its walls carved by ice and sorrow. The wind carries the story of the massacre of Glencoe, when betrayal struck one of Scotland's proudest clans. Yet, despite its tragic past, Glencoe remains breathtaking, a place that humbles you, reminding you that beauty and pain often share the same soil. Further north, Loch Lomond shimmers under soft light, reflecting the vastness of the Highlands like a mirror to the heavens. It's peaceful here, the kind of peace that makes you forget time. The loch glows at dusk, when the last light slips behind the mountains and the world turns to gold. It's in these moments that Scotland shows her gentler side, not wild but warm, not fierce but forgiving. The Highlands are full of contrasts, sunlight breaking through storm clouds, still lochs beside raging rivers, rolling green hills beside cliffs that fall straight into the sea. But that's Scotland's nature. Wild, unpredictable, and deeply poetic. You can't control it. You can only surrender to it. And then, there are the sounds, the hush of wind weaving through the grass, the soft bleating of sheep on distant slopes, the cry of a lone bird gliding through endless sky. At night, when the stars emerge unpolluted, infinite, the land glows with a quiet kind of magic. You look up, and the constellations seem close enough to touch. This is the Scotland that doesn't need words. It simply exists, vast and eternal. The Highlands are more than a destination. They're an emotion, raw, untamed, and deeply human. To wander here is to feel small in the best possible way. A reminder that the world is still full of wonder, still full of mystery. And when the morning mist rolls over the glens, blurring the horizon between earth and sky, you realize something powerful, that this land doesn't belong to the past or the present. It belongs to eternity. For in the heart of the Highlands, the soul of Scotland beats strong, proud, and everlasting. It's not just nature. It's the echo of everything that ever was. and everything that will ever be. Sail into the island's remote, haunting, breathtaking. Show the sea cliffs, stone circles, and waves crashing against black rocks. Explore myths of Selkies and Old Norse tales that shaped these lands. Make this chapter feel otherworldly, like entering the edge of time itself. At the edge of the world, where land breaks apart into sea and mist, lie the islands of Scotland, wild, ancient, and touched by something beyond time. The Isle of Skye, Orkney, the Hebrides. These are not just islands. They are dreams carved into stone and sea. Places where myths still breathe and the horizon feels infinite. When you first set foot on Skye, it's as though you've stepped into another world. The air is heavy with rain and legend. Mountains rise like sleeping giants, the Quillan Range, their black peaks cutting into the clouds. Beneath them, emerald glens stretch toward the sea, where waterfalls tumble straight off cliffs and disappear into silver mist. It's a place of haunting beauty, raw, unpredictable, and utterly alive. The Old Man of Storr, a towering rock spire, stands like a sentinel over the island. Locals say it's the face of an ancient giant, frozen in stone, forever watching the sea. Whether you believe the legend or not, when you stand there in the howling wind, staring up at its shadowed form, you feel its truth. Skye doesn't just show you beauty, it makes you feel the weight of eternity pressing against the present moment. Further north, across turbulent waters, lie the Orkney Islands, where ancient stone circles and windswept cliffs tell tales older than written history. Here, the Neolithic world still breathes. The Ring of Brodgar, standing silent under gray skies, predates Stonehenge itself. Nobody knows for sure who built it or why, only that it still stands, whispering across millennia. When the wind passes through those stones, it feels like the earth is speaking in a language we've long forgotten. In Orkney, the line between myth and memory disappears. Viking sagas echo in the sea caves. Norse ruins crumble beside Celtic graves. The land feels layered, one civilization built upon another, like ghosts sharing the same ground. You can walk for hours here and never meet another soul. Only the wind, the waves, and the unbroken silence of the north. Then there are the Outer Hebrides, where the Atlantic pounds the western shores and the light changes by the second. Endless beaches of white sand stretch beneath skies of storm and fire. At dawn, the sea glows turquoise. By noon, it turns silver. By dusk, it burns with gold. It's wild. It's lonely. It's perfect. On the Isle of Lewis, the Callanish stones rise from the earth, great standing monoliths aligned with the stars. Some say they were built by ancient astronomers. Others believe they were placed by gods. But when the moon rises over them, casting long shadows across the grass, you realize their true purpose doesn't need to be explained. It only needs to be felt. These islands are Scotland's soul laid bare untamed, eternal, mysterious. Their beauty doesn't shout, it whispers. You don't conquer them, you surrender to them. You let the rain soak your face, the wind steal your breath, the silence humble your heart. The people who live here understand that connection, the bond between land, sea, and spirit. Fishermen, crofters, and poets, all bound by the rhythm of the tides and the will of the weather. Life here is simple, but not easy. It demands respect for nature, for history, for the unseen forces that shape both. And when night falls over the islands, something magical happens. The stars appear clear, sharp, infinite. The Milky Way drapes across the sky like a veil of light. Sometimes, if you're lucky, the northern lights dance above the sea, painting the heavens green and violet. It's a sight so surreal it doesn't feel real, and yet it's the most real thing you'll ever see. Skye, Orkney, the Hebrides, they are the edge of the map, the meeting point of myth and reality. Here, Scotland reveals her most secret self, ancient, sacred, and full of wonder. As the wind whispers across the cliffs and the sea crashes below, one truth becomes clear. These islands aren't just places on a map. They are living stories. And once you've walked their shores, you carry a part of them forever. Now shift tone from wilderness to culture. Capture Edinburgh's Gothic charm, Royal Mile, and festivals. Then contrast it with Glasgow's creative heartbeat, street music, and warmth of its people. Show how modern Scotland dances between its past and its future, proud yet welcoming. In Scotland, history and modernity meet face to face, not in battle, but in balance. Nowhere is that more powerful than in its two great cities, Edinburgh and Glasgow. They are the twin hearts of the nation, beating to very different rhythms, yet bound by the same fierce spirit. One whispers of kings, poets, and legends. The other roars with art, rebellion, and life. Together, they tell the full story of Scotland, old and new, refined and raw, mysterious and alive. Edinburgh, the city of stone and shadow, rises like a dream from the mists of time. Its skyline is a masterpiece. The Edinburgh Castle, perched on volcanic rock, watching over cobbled streets that twist through centuries of history. Walking down the Royal Mile, you feel as if every step pulls you deeper into a story that never ends. Ancient closes and secret courtyards hide tales of intrigue and ghosts. The scent of whiskey drifts from hidden taverns. Street performers play bagpipes as gulls cry above. When the fog rolls in over the castle, it's like the past itself has returned. You can almost see the echoes of medieval parades, royal processions, and the faint torchlight of Jacobite rebels moving through the night. Edinburgh is not just a city, it's a memory carved in stone. But there's another side, vibrant, intellectual, and artistic. In August, the Edinburgh Festival Fringe transforms the city into the world's biggest stage. Musicians, actors, and dreamers from every corner of the globe fill the streets with creativity and laughter. It's chaos and brilliance all at once, proof that even in its ancient bones, this city's heart beats with the fire of innovation. And then, you travel west, where the energy shifts completely. Welcome to Glasgow, the beating, restless soul of modern Scotland. Where Edinburgh stands tall in elegance, Glasgow moves with rhythm, alive, loud, and unapologetic. It's a city built by workers and artists, by dreamers and defiant hearts. Its motto, "Let Glasgow Flourish," isn't just words, it's a way of life. You feel it in the streets, in the laughter echoing through Buchanan Street, in the murals painted on brick walls, in the pulse of live music spilling from every bar. This is a city that doesn't pretend it lives, it feels, it creates. Glasgow gave birth to some of the greatest artists, architects, and musicians in Scottish history. From Charles Rennie Mackintosh's elegant designs to the roar of rock and folk that shape its nights, every corner is alive with culture, but beneath its energy lies heart. Glasgow people are known for their warmth, for humor that can break the ice of any stranger. There's a saying here, people make Glasgow. And it's true. The beauty of this city isn't just in its skyline. It's in the stories, the voices, and the open hands of its people. Still, both cities share something profound, a connection to the land and to the soul of Scotland itself. In Edinburgh, you feel the weight of history pressing down like the mist over Arthur's Seat. In Glasgow, you feel the future rising like the morning sun over the Clyde. Together, they form a perfect paradox, stillness and motion, poetry and pulse, memory and momentum. At sunset, from Calton Hill, Edinburgh glows gold, its spires piercing the sky, its old stones warmed by the last light. Meanwhile, miles away, Glasgow lights begin to shimmer, reflections dancing across the river as music drifts into the night. Two worlds, two moods, one soul. If Scotland's landscapes are her body, rugged, wild, eternal, then Edinburgh and Glasgow are her heart and voice. The one whispers stories of kings and scholars. The other sings songs of workers and dreamers. Together, they remind us that Scotland is not frozen in history. It is alive, evolving, and forever unafraid to be itself. And As night falls, you realize, in Scotland, even its cities breathe like the mountains full of story, shadow, and light. One foot in the past, one stride toward the future. Always alive, always Scotland. End with a poetic reflection, Scotland as a feeling that never leaves you. The final montage sweeps across lochs under twilight, mountain peaks touched by the last light, and lonely lighthouses standing against roaring seas. The voiceover should close in a timeless tone, leaving viewers in awe that in the silence of Scotland, one discovers the loudest truths of the human spirit. There's something about Scotland that can't be captured in photographs or measured in miles. It's not just the mountains, the castles, or the endless skies. It's a feeling raw, ancient, and deeply human. A spirit that breathes through the land, through its people, through every whisper of wind that dances over the heather. This is the true Scotland, a place where nature and soul are one. Stand on the edge of Loch Lomond at dawn. The world is perfectly still. The mirror of water reflects the rising light, broken only by the ripple of a swan's wings. There's a silence here that feels alive, as if the earth itself is holding its breath. In that moment, you understand why poets called this land sacred, why wanderers return again and again. Scotland's beauty is not loud. It hums in quiet reverence. Its nature is powerful, yet patient. From the towering Ben Nevis, snow-touched and eternal, to the wind-swept cliffs of Duncansby Head, where seabirds circle the storm, this country feels untamed, unbroken. The Highlands stretch like a heartbeat beneath the clouds, and every valley tells a story carved by time and rain. The scent of pine, peat, and salt fills the air, nature's own perfume. You don't just see Scotland, you feel it deep within your chest. And yet, the land is only half the story. The other half lives in the people, fierce, proud, and kind beyond measure. Scotland's spirit is written on the faces of its people, in the laughter of children playing by the shore, in the weathered hands of farmers who know every stone of their field, in the fire of storytellers who keep legends alive by the glow of the hearth. There is a Scottish word, cosagach. It means warmth, comfort, and shelter. It's not just about being cozy. It's about belonging. That's what Scotland gives you. Whether you're in a Highland inn as rain taps the window, or walking a quiet glen under the aurora's green fire, you feel it, that deep, peaceful sense of home, even if you've never been here before. This spirit extends beyond its borders. Scots carried their pride, creativity, and resilience to every corner of the world. They built bridges, composed symphonies, discovered planets, and penned stories that still shape how we dream. From Robert Burns to Alexander Fleming, James Watt to Sean Connery, the legacy of Scotland is written in innovation, courage, and imagination. A small nation with a voice that echoes across centuries. But at its core, Scotland remains humble. The people still greet you with warmth. How are ye? Like an old friend, not a stranger. In a village pub, someone might hand you a pint, tell you a story about the Loch Monster that probably did exist, and then invite you to join in a song you've never heard before. That's the Scottish way: humor, heart, and humanity, all bound together by an unspoken understanding that life, like the land, is both harsh and beautiful. As the sun sinks low over the moors and the hills turn gold, you realize that Scotland's magic isn't in what you see, it's in what you feel. It's in the sound of the bagpipe carried by the wind. It's in the reflection of the sky in a still loch. It's in the courage to face storms and still find laughter in the rain. This is the spirit of Scotland, wild yet welcoming, ancient yet alive. It's a reminder that true beauty lies not in perfection, but in resilience. That legacy isn't built on monuments, but on stories, on songs, on hearts that endure. As the journey ends, Scotland remains with you in memory, in emotion, in something far deeper than words. Because once you've felt the spirit of this land, you never truly leave it. A part of you stays behind, wandering those misty glens forever, listening to the eternal song of the north. The journey comes to an end, but Scotland never truly leaves you. It lingers in the chill of the morning mist, in the echo of waves along forgotten shores, in the warmth of a stranger's smile. You realize that this land is not just beauty, it's strength, not just history, it's heartbeat. Every stone, every mountain, every song is a reminder that even in the wildest places there is grace, that the soul of Scotland is not bound by borders but by spirit, eternal, untamed, alive. So as the lights fade and silence returns to the glens, remember this: you haven't just seen Scotland, you felt it, and somewhere between the clouds and the sea, Scotland will remember you too. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed exploring Prague as much as I enjoyed guiding you through it. If you found this travel guide helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more beautiful destinations from around the world. Got a favorite spot in Prague? Drop it in the comments, I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, safe travels, and see you in the next video.